My dear young friend, now that Corona has put us in quarantine where we're forced to be by ourselves and with our family, I invite you to join me in an examination of the past few years. Often, there was probably hardly even a pause on our excessive activities. Many of us suffered from so much stress or chronic fatigue, excessive obligations, even the self-imposed demands of the entertainment industry, restaurants, cinema, outings, socials. So often after an active day, we'd come home looking for rest, for distraction from our everyday problems, and we longed just to avoid all effort. The result was perhaps a certain spiritual alienation, a life lived only for the here and now. In our workaholic society, we found it difficult to stop and to take a deeper look at our surroundings, at ourselves. So many distractions. We had so many obstacles to self-encounter. Ever heard the term FOMO? Fear of missing out? Consider what happens to someone with a compulsion to know immediately all the news from everywhere, who fears missing the Super Bowl or some event, who watches one movie after the other. He's on his way to becoming a person unable to think on his own. So what to do with all the information coming at us on a typical day? In the 1950s, the writer Ida Friedrich Gorez was asked how she came up with such original ideas, how she could judge society's situation so clearly. Her answer was, I don't read any newspapers. In that way, I can concentrate my powers. I find out what I need to anyway in all sorts of ways. While it is maybe not worth imitating, it is a very interesting habit. And now, several decades later, the volume of information we receive daily is even more. The Russian novelist Dostoevsky says, being alone once in a while is more necessary for a normal person than eating and drinking. According to this wise saying, can I really say I'm normal? Now that life has slowed down, we might still find that we're running from ourselves, right from inside our walls, the walls of our homes. We flee from our own interiority. Silence frightens us. We don't want to be our own friends. Before, to avoid serious contact with our own most intimate self, we'd go on round the world trips, plug in the iPod, commit ourselves to 1,000 political, cultural, social, even religious activities. But now that we're deprived of hanging out with our friends, we begin to realize how difficult it is to be with ourselves. Perhaps we can examine whether we really enjoyed being with our friends. Were we really able to enjoy all those outings? Can a man who never comes to face with himself ever really have a true encounter with anyone else? So why this fleeing from interior space? Couldn't it offer us the possibility of living serenely in the midst of so much chaos? Isn't it curious that we so often reject this marvelous possibility to easily overcome life's difficulties? We begin to see the answer in considering what it means to be one's own friend. Friendship cannot be built on a lie. To make friends with myself, I must behave with interior rectitude. This means not repressing the great questions. Who am I? Where did I come from? And where am I going? Why was I born? Why am I on earth? And what will become of all that I've worked so hard for? Do I really want to dodge these questions that touch the very fiber of my being? To come to grip with the answers to these questions can be a big dose of reality, my friend, which is perhaps sometimes a frustration to our preference to live in La La Land. Do I really want to continue, though, being carried along by circumstances and simply live day by day, newscast to newscast, week by week? Should I not make some fundamental plans and adjust my way of living to what I hear in the depths of my heart? Maybe what I'm hearing in these days. Let's turn to the Virgin Mary, who knows our hearts like no other, because mothers always know us so well. She will help us to be more sincere, more daring in following the truth, which is not a concept, but a person, the Son of Mary, our Lord Jesus Christ. God bless you.